Nick in Wandsworth. Nick.
Morning, Boris. Morning, Nick.
Hello.
Yeah, quick question. Well, later this week, Boris is shutting a load of fire stations and taking away loads of pumps. I was just wondering what his answer would be to worst-case scenario to the family of a loved one, or worst-case scenario, family of a firefighter who was to die in one of these stations that he's just about to close.
Well, Nick, obviously that is the question that I've been dealing with over the last year or so that we've been having to deal with this issue, and this is something that I take very, very seriously. It's why we had a long consultation, and time and again I have actually interrogated Ron Dobson, who's a fantastic fire chief, about whether he and his team are absolutely confident that they can do this without in any way eroding London's safety, and they are, and they point out the figures showing that deaths from fire are coming down, and the number of fires themselves are coming down, and I have to take that seriously. And we had the court case, if you may remember, Nick. Several boroughs challenged me over the last few months, and they went to court. Camden, Islington, Tower Hamlets. They spent about £200,000 of taxpayers' money on a legal challenge, which has not been successful in any respect, and we are able to go ahead with the safety plan, and we think to continue to make London safer. But Nick, your fundamental question is the right one. It is a very, very.
Was, what would you say?
It is a very, very.
Yeah,
it is a very, very difficult decision.
The right one. What the question is? What would you say?
Yeah, I have.
If
The answer is that I have taken every possible consideration of the risks involved, and I've decided that it is the right way forward, and that we can continue to make London safer from fire.
On the point of the consultation, is it not right that the consultation came back overwhelmingly telling you that they didn't want to lose the fire station? So you've just ignored that, haven't you?
Well, though it was actually, if you look at what happened, if you look at what happens with the consultation, it was very patchy, and you had some very, very strong response, some very strong defences of fire stations in some places, but in other places it was much less conspicuous. And it is very striking to me that at no stage in the discussions with the fire brigade, with the FBU, has there actually been a strike about this issue. And I think that is because people understand that there is a common sense behind this. It's pragmatic, and it's the way forward. And don't forget, Nick, there are no compulsory redundancies involved.
How striking is it that the Apollo Theatre incident just before Christmas, some of the firefighters that had attended were from 3 of the threatened fire stations?
I just don't think it is possible to draw conclusions from that. And I'd point out that the first firefighters on the scene, as I understand the matter, were from a station that is under no threat whatever. So,
right. But subsequently, as and when more firefighters were required, 3 of stations that will no longer be with us supplied kit or personnel. They won't be around anymore. What do we take from that?
I think what we can take from the fact that the first firefighters on the scene in Shaftesbury Avenue were from, and there was a great deal of support, obviously, within a very, very reasonable delay. I think they were in something like 3 minutes.
It was fantastic, of course. But God forbid it had been more serious, and nobody wishes that. How helpful would it be that 3 fire stations would have been shut?
I will have to get you. I mean, obviously, I can inquire. I don't believe it would have made any fundamental difference. And the key thing,
really?
if you look at what the 4 boroughs that took us to court, in every case, we are able to keep the response time to under the key 6-minute target. And that's the key thing, Nick. It's can you deliver great firefighters to the spot in time? Can you keep fires, the numbers of deaths from fire and the outbreak of fires coming down? That's what we want to do.